Welcome to LearnLogicPro.com. Today I'm going to show you the Audio Unit Manager. So click in the upper left corner where it says Logic, go to Preferences and Audio Unit Manager. The other way you could have gone is through Preferences here and down to the Audio Unit Manager as well. Now what the Audio Unit Manager is, it's basically a way for you to manage all the plugins, be it Apple plugins or third-party plugins that are loaded into Logic. And the audio unit is actually a format very similar to RTAS or VST. It is a plugin format. So as you look down this list of the audio unit manager, you'll notice that it'll show you the if it's turned on, if Logic sees it, if it can be used by nodes, what the name of the plugin is, who the manufacturer is, what type of audio unit is, the version type, and if it's compatible, if it's successfully been validated, or if it has failed some sort of validation. Now I moved some files for the Novation because I wanted to show you what it looked like with a failed validation. And as you go through here, you see that the Novation is not checked and it has failed. And you can rescan this selection and let it try to recover or try to rescan successfully, but in this case again it fails, and it tells you a number of errors on why it's failed. Okay. To resolve certain issues like this, most times you should go to the software vendor's website and download the latest update or some sort of hot fix if they have it for Logic 8. When installing Logic 9, you want to do the same thing, and Logic 10, and as they continue to do updates, you want to make sure that you get the newest versions of all the plugins. And I usually suggest you get the newest plugins as much as you can, get them up to date before you install Logic, and then keep your eyes peeled for the next week or so after Logic's updated to make sure that you do have compatible versions. So if you have a lot of plugins, you have a search engine in the upper right corner. You can disable any failed audio units, making sure that they are not enabled. If you enable a failed audio unit, it could possibly force it to work, but it will make Logic Pro very unstable, and I do not suggest you force the validation of these plugins. The validation is essentially making sure that the plugin itself is using the appropriate code or using the newer specifications of the audio unit format. So here you can go through all the plugins, you can see what's been validated, you can see what hasn't been validated, you could possibly rescan and try to revalidate, or you can disable anything that's failed. If there's certain plugins you do not want, you can uncheck them, and even though they have successfully validated, you can uncheck them so they do not show up in Logic. And that's the Audio Unit Manager in Logic Pro 8. LearnLogicPro.com.